Boobies. All right, now that I've got your attention, I'm going to tell you the first time that I had my online experience with boobies. So I was really young at this point. I was literally in grade one. I just recently had learned and heard boobies. Well, I probably heard about it a lot before then, but it had really sunk in. That word had really been ingrained into my soul at that point. I was like, boobies? Boobies. So, my thought process was it's too dangerous. Way too dangerous at home. Mm-mm. Couldn't be doing this shit at home. You know what the next best thing is? Doing it at school. That's right. We recently had been granted the privilege to use not our computers, but the school given computers to do some research on things. It was trying to introduce us to the world of researching and sourcing and all of that type of stuff. Of course, there was no security when I was on there. Like at least for the first little bit that it was introduced, it was very new at the time. There was no security whatsoever on those computers. We were raw dogging the internet, baby. That means that that was the place that I decided I can look up this stuff. I know that I can. There's kids in my class that have been looking up all sorts of wild stuff. Oh, this is the best place. Oh, I can't tell you that how many. No, don't do that. Like nowadays, obviously they're gonna have security measures and they're gonna have everything to prevent you from doing that. But just use your head. Don't do that. Full disclaimer: I 100% had a computer. I'm putting this in while I'm editing it, just because I feel like that's an important piece of information to understand just how fucking dumb I was. I had my own computer at home. I was obviously a very stupid child and thought that this would go unnoticed. Apparently it didn't. But before I get into that, I guess I'll tell you what I decided to look up on the school computer. A little bit of context here. I was really into Charlie's Angels as a kid. I really liked those movies. I really liked Cameron Diaz in those movies. So I really grabbed one core feature from Cameron Diaz and I ran with it. I obviously combined it with my need boobs. Blonde hair and boobs. That's what I searched up. Blonde, round boobs. That was my first ever foray into the town of boobs. I didn't find much with that first search. I do remember having to edit my search a little bit. I don't remember exactly what I searched up, but that phrase stands prominent in my mind. Blonde, round boobs. Not Cameron Diaz. No, I didn't put any of that into it. It was just blonde, round boobs. Don't know what I saw. It wasn't what I wanted, so I quickly edited it. I saw a plethora of beautiful images that day. Lovely. I was so happy. Until a couple weeks later, when the teacher made an announcement that we no longer had access to the computers. And shortly after, me and a couple of other kids got called in to talk with our parents to the principal because obviously they didn't have security on it, but they had something on there. And I had to apologize, and we didn't have those laptops anymore for the rest of the year. But yeah, I guess if you're going to take anything away from this short story that I decided out of nowhere to into the void that is YouTube, remember, don't do it at school. Probably should have been fucking common knowledge for me, but I guess I had the brain of a ham sandwich, honestly. So, yeah, if you guys like this, subscribe. Thanks for watching.